Welcome everyone to a very special episode on the Bevvy channel. We are delighted to have our whiskey loving friend from the States, Adam. Thank you much for joining us. How are you finding Scotland so far?
It's beautiful. I mean, I've gotten the best weather week, I think, and I'm so excited to walk down, try some pubs.
Yeah, so you're from Pennsylvania, obviously
Yes.
a whiskey fan, predominantly bourbon. Your experience of Scotch has been good so far?
Yeah, I've been trying to get myself into as many as I can this week, and I've been pretty successful so far.
Nice one. Well, I've got a fun day lined up. I'm thinking we head up there to the castle, find a few whiskey bars, work our way downhill and see how we get on. How does that sound?
Sounds fantastic.
Good. Well, Adam, here we are, first stop on our sort of mini pub crawl of Edinburgh during the Fringe. We are here at the fabulous Scotch Whisky Experience at the top of the Royal Mile. My old stomping ground, this is going to be a real treat. Yeah, obviously kind of very tourist friendly, up by the castle. What are your first impressions?
Amazing, just amazing to walk up the Royal Mile, to be able to see all the history that's up here, all the shops, and then duck into this little, almost looks like nothing, but then you come down here and it's like, look at all these.
Yeah, we're spoiled for choice for single malts in Scotland. Yeah, this is a really lovely place. This place was done up maybe 10, 15 years ago. They've done it really, really nicely. And it's, yeah, probably not the first place local enthusiasts would think of when you think of whiskey bars, but as you can see, they've got an absolutely stunning selection. Kind of like a tourist attraction for whiskey, whereas introducing people to the fabulous world of Scotch. What is your background with whiskey? How did you first get into it?
I got into whiskey initially, I'll say, back in college or university, where you get your first introductions to some of the stuff that comes in a plastic bottle, perhaps.
Yeah,
but I've got some very good memories associated with it, and it really kind of opened me up to the idea of, hey, the world of whiskeys is just an amazing assortment of flavors, varieties, just all sorts of different ways you can manipulate and twist and get this, all different beautiful elements into a glass.
Yeah.
And it's just, you don't have to ever drink the same thing twice if you don't want to. You can look all over, you can continue the search for your favorite whiskey as long as you live and probably drink something different. I mean, how long would it take you to get through all these bottles?
Yeah, it'd be a good session.
It'd be incredible.
So Scotch Whisky Experience, as we said, is trying to encourage people to explore whiskey. But for many people, it can be quite overwhelming. So they do have quite a big focus on regions. So for our first dram of today, we've picked a classic Highland single malt, which has been matured in ex-bourbon casks. So that classic Highland style. Glencadam 10-year-old, which is a fantastic distillery, fantastic team. What are your first impressions on the nose of this dram?
Just for the clarity and the lightness of the whiskey, it packs a punch in the nose.
Yeah, Glencadam, again, a bit like this place actually. It flies under the radar for a lot of people. It's not the first brand which is going to come to mind. For me, it's fairly soft, fairly sweet. You were saying earlier about the same whiskey, you never taste the same twice. And I think if we came back to this later on in the day, we'd be like, oh, it's like drinking tap water. It's so soft, it's so sweet. It is 46%, so it has got a little bit of bite to it, but very, very pleasant.
You certainly get the fruit and just a little, I don't know, I want to say pear.
Yeah, it looks like green fruits.
Yeah.
Maybe a little bit of citrus.
That would be an easier way to describe it. Yeah, a little citrus.
Yeah, a lovely, well-rounded dram and a great place to stop for our first visit.
Certainly excellent. Certainly a great way to kick us off. Thank you.
Well, cheers. Well, Adam, we've headed down the road from the Whisky Experience to our second stop. We are at the Albanac on the Royal Mile, a real kind of treasure trove of drams and an amazing location.
It's been incredible. The Fringe, there's just people everywhere.
Oh, it's mob. It's nice to sneak away and have a quiet dram. We've got quite a special dram on the table in quite a special setting. This is a 21-year-old Benromac from the Speyside region, a little bit of smoke to it as well. Is this a brand you've had before?
I have had Benromac. I've not had the 21. I've stuck to the lower ages.
I thought this could be a good one because I was keen to get your thoughts on well-aged whiskey. And if it's something obviously from the States, obviously you've got bourbon left, right and center, which is generally, 4, 5, 6 years old.
You don't want a 21-year-old bourbon because all you're going to taste is oak. It's all going to be tasted oak. So, I mean, some of the higher age statements I've ever seen for bourbon are like 15 years. And even that is tough to get it right.
And what are your first thoughts on the Albanac as a venue? Obviously, it's a lively time of year.
I love being able to just pop into these little quiet pubs along the mile and avoid the craziness. Coming to some place like this, people are friendly.
Yeah.
And yeah, they set you up with some great drams.
Scotch, as you say, can take, 2 decades plus of aging pretty well. Benromac is kind of like a lightly peated Speyside whiskey, but at this age, I'm expecting it to sort of dissipate quite a little.
Caramely notes from the bourbon right there.
In general, from your Scotch experience, do you feel it's as simple as the older, the better, or does it?
Oh no,
No?
For sure not. I mean, again, sometimes you get it's all about the balance, the types of flavors you're going to get through the whiskey, and so sometimes you can have a very well aged whiskey that's not well balanced. It can be very tannic, very oaky, and sometimes you can get a very young whiskey that's got a lot of flavor to it as well. So even with single malts, it's not a direct line.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the only thing you can guarantee with older whiskey is it's going to be more expensive.
The Angels take more.
Absolutely.
And that's what I've heard about the difference with, Kentucky bourbons versus Scotch whiskeys. The weather over here is so much more consistent.
Yes.
Whereas in Kentucky, the barrel's going up and
the
down.
ABV can go up.
And so, it can go up. It can just more contact with the barrel as it moves around hot and cold.
For me, that is an absolutely stunning dram.
That is
I think
lovely.
It's got that balance to it and that depth you're talking about that is very difficult to replicate at a younger age. As you said, you can use casks that are quite aggressive and give a lot of flavour, but this is just so mellow and so...
Very mellow, sweet. Again, that caramel toasty flavor. It's just a warming whiskey.
Yeah. Anyway, we're having a lovely Scotch whiskey, very well aged. As we say, not the cheapest whiskey, 21 years old, but for me, this is absolutely worth every penny.
Worth it.
And as you say, it's all about enjoying whiskey with good company. So
cheers.
Cheers, Adam. I'm having a wonderful day so far.
No better way to spend it.
Well, Adam, stop number 3. We've taken advantage of the unseasonable warm weather in Scotland. We're sitting outside at the Scotsman's Lounge, just off the Royal Mile. First impressions of this place?
Being able to sit outside in this is just awesome.
Yeah,
watching people go by.
Yeah.
Just all sorts of different folks, all walks of life, and
Well, I mean, there's the wind.
Can't beat the weather.
Spoke too soon. I thought for this one, we'd have a little look at cask types. We've gone for 2 Macallan 12-year-olds, obviously known for a massive sherry influence. Is this a cask type you're a fan of?
It is. It depends on the whiskey. I feel like it can get overwhelming and a little funky, but no, I do like sherry finished. Saying one of my favorite styles in the U.S. is their sherry finished rye whiskeys that are coming out that blend, the spice of a rye with some nice sherry sweet influences.
That sounds like
a beautiful combo.
Might be right on my street actually, because rye whiskey, I've said to you before, I kind of struggle with a little bit. I've had 1 or 2 which have been pretty rough, pretty heavy going, but with that sherry influence, hopefully that rounds out quite nicely.
No, it's a little less sherry than this is.
Macallan, I'm sure it's one you've had several times before. Is it generally a distillery you rate? It's an easy one to criticise, let's be honest.
Yeah, whenever you get something that's that big, you're always going to have good drams, bad drams, but they move a lot, and there's a reason they move a lot of whiskey is because it's tasty. And that is smooth as you like.
Yeah.
I mean, that
there's nothing wrong
that would
with
go down real quick. Yeah, it'd be dangerous to have a couple of those around. But yeah, you do get the sherry influence, but my goodness, just well balanced, very well balanced.
I think, as I say, it's easy to, not describe ourselves as purists. I think it's, for people like us who, work in whiskey, it's easy, as we say, to criticise these big successful brands. But there's a reason they're so popular, because the whiskey is without fault. There's no off notes.
And it's the consistency that they're able to achieve through it. They produce, I don't know how many barrels a year, but they're consistent. It's always going to be delicious. You know what you're getting into. Really, if anything, that's the most impressive part, is they don't just occasionally produce something magical. They consistently produce something excellent.
Yeah, you can try Macallan 12 from 30 years ago and it will taste very similar to this.
So this is a lovely dram.
It's a really vibey pub as well, Scotsman's Lounge. As we say, just off the Royal Mile. They're quite famous for live music as well. During August, they've got 3 different live acts every day. So it's kind of very much like the live music venue in Old Town. And it's a great selection of drams, nice beers as well.
All right, well, I'll be back here later then.
Absolutely. Well, glad you joined the dram.
Cheers.
Pleasure to share it with you. Cheers. Adam, here we are at the Devil's Advocate in Edinburgh, one of my favourite venues, quite a trendy spot as well. What are you thinking?
Beautiful little corner we're tucked away in here. I love it, between all these buildings. All these buildings are older than anything in the States, so it's so cool to see.
Yeah, it's a great place to be. So we have on the table a rye whiskey, one of your specialities, I hope. What are we going to taste?
Back on my home turf here with a straight rye. So this is going to be anything, depending upon how well it's blended, anything from very spicy, pungent rye to rye bread, where it's a little more sweet, subtle. I haven't had this one neat. I know it's a very, very popular cocktail whiskey in the States. Can be a good thing, can be a bad thing. It just means it's going to bring that rye spice. Sure. So we'll see how we go.
I've had a couple of rye whiskies before and they've been generally not to my taste. There's a flavour profile I've kind of struggled with. How are you feeling about this one? Could this be the breakthrough moment for me?
I love my straight rye whiskeys. This one, on the nose, that's not bad. It's not sharp, it's well-rounded. It's going to bring that spice to it though, which I love.
Yeah, it's got an inviting nose actually. It does smell nice. I think bourbon, we've said before, can be quite samey, but it's a pleasant profile.
There's just so many rules around bourbon, so you're able to change the rye whiskeys, you're able to change the single malts more than you can with bourbon. So, I don't know, what do you think?
Yeah, it's probably the best rye I've had, but it's also probably 4 out of 10.
I was gonna say, best rye is a low bar to clear for you.
I think I'm enjoying it because it is a bit different. I think it is distinct from Scotch whiskey, from single malt whiskey.
I love it, I'm back to it. Oh.
You say you know it from cocktails predominantly, but it's a decent sipper on its own.
It is a good sipper on its own. As I said, I'm a big fan of rye whiskeys, so this is a lovely taste back. It's easy for me, it's comfortable, it's friendly. It's like slipping into a nice pair of shoes that are worn in. I just really enjoy it.
I hear that. It's a lovely dram. And this place, Devil's Advocate, is close to the Old Town. How are you finding this as a venue?
I mean, this whole tour has been so cool. This little hopping from bar to bar, pub to pub. I'll get the language right eventually. But hopping from place to place, it's just been wonderful, and I could sit here for hours.
Yeah, it's got a real cool contemporary vibe. It's that all the staff are young and good looking. It makes me feel it's sickening in a way, but it's very much their vibe.
Cheers to being old.
To being old. Cheers. Well, Adam, any trip to the UK isn't complete without a trip to a British institution. We're at the Wetherspoons pub. Let's go check it out.
All right. Cannot wait.
Well, Adam, I'd say the less said about that, the better. Let's head somewhere else. Well, Adam, next stop on our tour of Edinburgh Fringe whisky venues, we're at the Scotch Malt Whisky Society on Queen Street. We're in the Oval Room, home of the fabulous, what call this, diorama.
The whiskey making process.
Whiskey making process. It's a lovely venue and yeah, excited to get stuck into these drams. Thrilled. Today we're trying something a little bit different. This is an English single malt whiskey, which they've branched out into. Have you had much experience with English whiskies?
Hardly any.
Okay.
Hardly any. So I'm excited to try this because I don't know what I'm getting into. I don't know what it's going to taste like. I don't know what the flavors are going to be.
Yeah. What are your have you got any preconceptions about English whiskey?
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of like surprising to hear that English single malt is a thing. It's not Scotch. It's English. So the fact that exists and is a thing that the Scotch Malt Whisky Society would say is worthy of bottling is very interesting. So it must be good because these guys, they don't do anything that's not interesting.
Yeah, obviously they started off as just single malt Scotch and now branched out into grain whiskey, Japanese whiskey, English whiskey. This bottling here is from the English Whiskey Distillery, or the brand is now known as The English. Single cask expression, which has been aged for 12 years in second fill ex-bourbon barrel. So there's probably going to be hardly any cask influence at all. It's going to be a lot of spirit, and it's a big strength as well. 64% ABV.
I could already smell it from here.
So 128 proof.
Yeah, that's
high gas.
High gas.
High gas. Yeah. So we'll give this a little try. Obviously, on the color looks pretty pale. Not much cask influence. Whew. The strength hits you straight away, doesn't it?
Yeah, it singes the nostrils.
It's not inviting at this strength, but we'll give it a little try. Jesus Christ. I mean,
that's kind of all you get.
That is, yeah. That'll put Hairs on your chest.
Yeah, hair in your chest, hair in your teeth.
I think flavour-wise, I'm not getting very much from that at all.
No, little peat.
A little bit, yeah.
But it's really just alcohol.
That is monstrous.
So let's give it a minute a little bit more, but we'll start with that.
Yeah, how much did you put in? A couple of drops?
Yeah,
Three or
like
four?
5 drops.
I feel like that might not be enough. Adding a few drops of water generally softens a whiskey, brings out extra flavours, more sort of delicate floral notes. Are you getting much of that with this, or is it still pretty...
Still a little
pretty
hot.
fiery?
I think the delicate notes probably are still a little hidden behind the water, but it's starting to open up.
Yeah. I think for it being 12 years old, it tastes younger than that.
Yes.
I think it's still quite raw,
second
still quite
fill.
intense.
The second fill, I think, it didn't pick up much from the barrel. I do think it needs a little more water. I'm going to do this
Yeah.
anyway.
I do think English whiskey in general is definitely a category that you shouldn't dismiss. We've had some really stunning English whiskies on the channel before from White Peak Distillery, from Cotswolds. Lakes Distillery do some really good stuff as well. This is actually a distillery I'm not too familiar with. I think this is maybe an unfair dram to assess the whole distillery. As a venue though.
This is so cool. It's a whiskey lover's paradise, really. Everything is so thoughtfully chosen.
Yep.
And the flavors that they're able to pull out of the various whiskeys, the styles, the varieties, the types. It's just incredible how they're able to do it with repeatedly and have interesting whiskeys and different whiskeys throughout.
I think you can tell the staff here love what they do. And I think the fact that all the bottles from a distance all look identical. So it almost leads you to approaching them and say, what would you suggest? What have you had recently that's tasty? But
I like the idea that they kind of hide the distillery to keep you from any preconceived notions you might have about a specific distillery.
of the 10,000 plus bottlings they've done, this probably isn't the highlight. but whiskey is subjective, each to their own, and obviously a pleasure to visit as always.
If you're a high ABV fan, then this might be for you. But
But try not to fall over as you finish that one. But
I was going to say, take a walk in between.
yeah, cheers. Well, Adam, it's been a pleasure having you in Edinburgh so far. I hope you're enjoying the tour of various boozy establishments.
Yeah.
So you've come all the way from Pennsylvania, visiting Edinburgh, keen to try Scotland's national drink. I can tell you, we've been wasting our time so far with whiskey. Our actual national drink is this stuff. Tell me, is this a product that you recognise? Is the folklore of this product spread across the Atlantic to your land?
Absolutely not.
No?
I've never seen this before in my life. I've seen ads for it around here. I
Okay.
have no
Yeah, yeah.
idea what it is. So do I even get it? Do you tell me what I'm getting into, or do I just go for it?
I'd say just go for it. It's kind of a fizzy soft drink. Scotland is famous for being the only country in the whole world where Coca-Cola isn't the #1 selling soft drink. Iron Brew is our thing. It's been famously difficult to pinpoint exactly what it tastes like. Is that a good tilt of the head?
It's
Or not? You seem
It's kind of
lost for
vaguely
words.
cream soda, but
I've heard that before actually. I've heard cream soda, bubble gum.
yeah, I could get that. Just sweet.
Yeah.
A lot of sugar.
Probably not the drink your dentist would recommend.
I can
think it's-
imagine no, but I could see how that you'd get into this and then it'd become a nostalgic flavor.
Yeah.
And you'd never want to it's very different from your Coke and Pepsi. No
Yeah.
doubt about that. Yeah, I got to go back for more though. It does make you want to go back for more.
Well, overall, I'm glad you enjoyed it, and as I say, a pleasure to have you
Thank
in
you.
Scotland. Well, Adam, next up on our tour of Edinburgh whisky locations, we're at Hawksmoor in Edinburgh, a really kind of prestigious steakhouse, joined by Neil, the bar manager. Thank you so much.
Yeah, well, welcome guys, pleasure.
We've asked you to pick us a whiskey, something that Adam's probably not had before in the States. What have you presented us with?
So this is a 34-year-old grain whiskey from North British, bottled by actual pals from Fragrant Drops, who are based down in Leith. It's obviously distilled in the west of Edinburgh.
Yep. Yeah, close to Murrayfield, in between Murrayfield Stadium and Tynecastle, isn't it? It's kind of right in the middle.
Yeah, 34 years in a single bourbon cask has done a wonderful thing. What I really like about this is a point of difference from single malt being single grain. It is light, it's delicate, it's nutty, it's white chocolate, it's almonds, I love this kind of style of whiskey. It's just, I mean, it's 34 years old, not being brought down in strength as well, having naturally come down. It just gives it such a like big texture, big mouthfeel. It really
smooth,
coats your palate. It's silky smooth.
Yeah,
It's absolutely
that's a
beautiful
stunning
stuff.
dram. Because I imagine you will get people coming here and they'll insist on having a Jack Daniels or a Johnny Walker. And for those people who say, "Oh, have you tried this instead? It's not something you'll get back home," and they'll still insist, "No, I want Blue Label." So imagine there's maybe certain products you'd perhaps need to have in the bar, or do you have a full...
Yeah, absolutely. Like, I mean, there is things that we need for, we've got a like pretty big cocktail menu, like very sort of craft cocktail menu, that we work very, very hard on, and we need to have certain products for that. It's like, as with anything, there is variety involved. I mean, exactly what you said, some people just love Tanqueray.
Yeah,
like, and
which is fine.
Yeah, absolutely. There's nothing wrong with that. But like, it's having that, being able to offer that, like a sort of curated selection of that. We can't have absolutely everything, but like, and having that sort of point of, cool, you like this, would you like to try this? It's from there. Like, you can see it from the restaurant, kind of thing. So it's getting people really excited about those kind of conversations as well. That I really enjoy.
How are you getting on with it?
Beautiful drink.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. This
a
is
belter, isn't it?
easy sipper. It's delicious. It's flavorful. It's light but flavorful, which is I feel like a tough combination. Like you described it so well that it just coats your palate as it goes in, without being overpowering. Like you could have that for hours without a problem. I mean, it would be a problem, but a different kind of problem.
I think like this is actually a standout of mine, not just because we are able to get it in the bar. It's a belter.
Yeah, I feel like grain whiskey gets a bad name, and this is not. This is incredible.
Not.
Combination of local enthusiasm and global interest is such a nice thing to bring together. It's so cool.
Which is bottled great spirits. But yeah, obviously stunning dram, this one, a stunning location
Stunning
as well.
location.
So,
This is beautiful.
yeah, how you
Really
find
is.
it's kind of different to places we've been so far.
Yeah, versus the couple pubs, to walk into a place like this, you're immediately like, whoa, this is impressive.
Yeah, I feel a little bit underdressed. but
So
it's-
yes, I would agree. At least I have a collar
Not
on.
at all. Absolutely, everybody's welcome in the building. Like we are obviously in quite a grand location. We are used to be the mailroom of the National Bank of Scotland. Like way back when, we took it on and tried to restore as many original features as we possibly could, like the marble. The stained glass windows that you've got going around the top, these all depict Scottish industry. The teller's room is now the kitchen. I have had much worse offices than this.
I bet.
It's a
Beautiful spot, beautiful dram.
Yeah,
So
cool.
thank
Thanks
you.
so much for having us.
you're very welcome, guys.
Cheers.
This one. Cheers.
Cheers,
Thanks
gents.
again. Well, Adam, it's been quite a day. A tour of Edinburgh whisky bars, whisky establishments. It's been really good fun. Here we are at the Windsor on Leith Walk, very much a hidden gem. Some great drams. How are you feeling about this place?
I love it. It's far homier than the last
Yeah.
place we went to. A little more comfortable. I love all the Fringe posters everywhere.
Yeah,
You know
yeah.
exactly when and where you are in Edinburgh.
But I think we've earned our little half pint of beer.
Yeah, so
we'll do
tell
it.
me about
Cheers.
this. This looks like a...
So we're doing a little half and half. So a half pint of beer and a little dram as well. So this is from Tempest Brewing. It's called the Armadillo, which is like a nice pale ale. And we're pairing it with quite a special single malt actually from Daft Mill Distillery in Fife. Story of this one is it's basically a farmer who is a farmer, and that's what he does. He does farmer stuff. And when he can be bothered, he also makes whiskey. So I think it's 1 month of the year or something ridiculous. He gets the barley and he fills casks and stuff, but there's so much pressure on him. Oh, we want more Daft Mill and keep. And he was like, I'll make whiskey.
Like that's
when I want to make whiskey,
going
which
way
adds
back to
the
the
whole
roots.
appeal. Yeah,
Probably how whiskey was first made. It was
Yeah.
just, we got some excess laying around here. Let's throw it in the barrel.
as a byproduct and
Yeah,
do
that is
something with it.
amazing. Well, let's give it a go.
Daft Mill one you've had before? It's
No,
even
I've
in
never even
Scotland,
heard of it.
it's pretty niche.
I've never heard of it.
So this one is a 15-year-old expression. I've called this Fife Strength, which doesn't actually mean anything at all, but it's a nice little phrase. 56.3%. But no, I'd love to hear what you think of this, because it's quite a special dram to finish on.
Whoa.
Is it strong? Is it the
It's
ABV hitting you first of all? Or?
Yes, that, but also there's just layers of flavor in that whiskey. I feel like it starts off very clean and very sweet, and then it gets a little deeper as it goes. and the finish goes on forever. It's still finishing right now.
That is
but that is
proper dram, isn't it?
Oh, that's a good finish though. And I do feel like perfect with the pale ale.
Yeah, I think this whiskey ticks many boxes.
It really does.
There's a good age, a good strength, a good story. Obviously, the quality of, you know, the barley, the cask, all these things have come into
You can
play.
tell there's a lot of care and love into this one specifically. And I love this idea too. You know, we have something very similar, at least in Philadelphia, that's called a citywide, where it's a little bit different because it's essentially a cheap beer and a cheap whiskey. But it's a classic combination, whiskey and beer. This is a very upscale version of that, and I love it.
Yeah, I mean, if you're in the home of single malt Scotch, you might as well do it properly.
And especially it's something as special as this and as unique as this.
No, it's been quite a day. I hope you feel like you've got to know Edinburgh a bit better, got to know the whiskey scene a bit better.
I really appreciate it. Cheers.
A pleasure. Cheers. And can't wait to welcome you back.
Yeah, I'm excited for my next trip. Thank you. Still light up. Maybe one more dram?
Sounds good. Let's do it. If you've enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe for more Bevvy content. We want to hear what you think, your best whiskey experiences, the whiskies you want us to try. It's a really exciting journey we're on, so make sure to join us. Download the Bevvy app on Google Play and App Store to keep track of your whiskey journey, connect with your whiskey friends, keep track of your favourites, anything you could ever want to do with whiskey, all in one place. It's the definitive whiskey companion.